Coming up next, this decision could save you thousands and thousands of dollars. And then hating your job seems to be kind of a cool new conversation. Or is it a movement? And then unbelievable job titles and what they pay and your calls. Starts now. All right, folks, welcome to the Ken Coleman Show, where we help you win at work and in your life. I want to help you make more money, experience more meaning. Let's go. So here it comes. I'm going to make some people uncomfortable with this one, and I'm okay with it. Because some of you are going to go, well, he's absolutely freaking right. Why didn't I do this? Here we go. I teased it. A decision, really a career decision, that could save you thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars. And by the way, we couldn't fit it into the title, so I'm going to add this. Emotional baggage, physical and mental health issues. This could save all of that. Here it is. It's called a get clear year. Now, it's been known as a gap year. So this is not a new concept. I don't want anybody to go, well, Ken, boy, welcome, Ken. Welcome from underneath the rock you've been under. No. I understand the concept's not new, but it's been called a gap year. I am renaming it, rebranding it, if you will. Because here's what a gap year is. Oh, it's a gap year. Got a gap. Has anybody ever talked about a gap in a positive way? When you think about this in personal growth world, like, well, I got a gap in my finances. I got a gap here, meaning this is where I am. This is where I want to be, and there's a gap. It's negative. The only positive thing that I've ever associated with Gap was the store Gap, because when I was growing up in the 80s, Gap was cool. I don't know if Gap's cool anymore. And I'm not saying it's not. I'm saying, folks, I literally don't even know. Is Gap still cool with the kids? I'm not getting good reactions in the control room. So here's the deal. A gap year, think about it. People call up and they say, Ken, I have a gap in my resume. How do I account for it? It's a negative thing. And so this is why it needs to be rebranded. And I'm not trying to be cute. I'm serious. We have cultural norms that dictate and create poor decisions. And this is one of them. Let me set the scene. We have kids that are 17 and 18 years of age. Their brains aren't even finished developing. For 3 or 4 years, they've felt pressure at home, in the classroom, from peers to make a decision for their future, about their future, that could cost them 4, 5, 6 years, potentially hundreds of thousands of dollars. They're forced by the pressure to make a decision about their future, and they're not ready. And so you would think if we could just remove all cultural norms, if someone came to you today and said, hey, I need your advice. Okay, yeah, what's the advice? What do you need? Well, here's the deal. I'm feeling pressure to make a big decision, and I don't have enough information to make what I think is a good decision. What would you say to that person? Do you know what every one of us would say? We would say, hey, I think you need to slow down and take your time. I mean, do you really have to make this decision now? I think that's the first question most of us would ask. Do you have to make this decision right now? Because you don't have everything you need to make a good decision. Do you really have to make it now? And if they were to say no, then you would go, okay, I think the best thing to do is for you to go gather more information, slow down a little bit, right? That's what you'd say. And yet, when you talk to most parents about their kid taking a gap year, they get really uncomfortable. I don't know. I don't know if Junior should take a gap year. I don't know. It feels kind of lazy and losery to me. By the way, I made up another word right there, losery. It goes along with lazy. Right? They're practicing what it means to be a loser. Why? Because they didn't go to college right away? Yep. Everybody else is going to college. If Junior doesn't go to college, his friends are going to think he's a loser, going to make fun of him, and his feelings are going to get hurt. If Junior doesn't go to college, what are our friends going to say about us? What is Betty going to say at Bunko? I don't care what Betty from Bunko says. What is Roger from the golf course going to say when I tell him that Junior is taking a gap year? Who gives a crap what Roger says? Roger might be broke. It's not Roger's call. So, this is what's going on. And it's why the gap year has a negative connotation. The get clear year is smart. It's, hey, I'm not 100% sure. I got my high school diploma. I've got plans for the future. I'm not 100% sure which is the best way to go. I don't even know which is the right mountain that I want to climb, and then I'd have to figure out the best way to go. I'm just going to take a gap year, and what I'm going to do in my gap year is I'm not going to sit in the living room or in the basement of my mom and dad's house and play PlayStation and eat Cheetos. I'm going to go maybe work several different jobs. Maybe work 2 or 3 jobs at a time, all in fields that I'm interested in. So I'm not just shadowing, I'm getting paid. And I come up with a strategy and a plan. I have time to make more decisions. A get clear year. UCLA study found that only 3% of American students take a year off before heading to college. Did you hear that? Only 3%. Many of us did the same thing. We followed a path that we just kind of like licked our finger, put it in the air, and went, okay, think we're going to try this. We just believed it was all going to work out. So here's why a get clear year can be incredibly valuable to you. Number one, you're going to save time. Even with the get clear year, we know that most students aren't finishing in a 4-year period anyway. And so think about the time you'll save that other friends of yours won't by going to college and taking 4.5, 5, maybe 6 years to complete the degree. Then they go do continuing education because they're still not sure. Folks, you will save time. A year off to get clear is actually going to save you time. Number 2, it's going to save you money. What if you were working and making money? What if you made $30,000? $35,000 while you were getting clear? You're going to save money and make money by not spending college tuition that you don't need, that you don't want. Third, you're going to save yourself. And this is what nobody talks about. This is what nobody talks about. Nobody talks about the mental, emotional, and physical challenges that come with being stressed out, anxious, doing work you don't enjoy, being in a toxic environment. We all know it's there, but nobody talks about it. And making a college decision and then a career decision with no real information leads to all of that. So don't do it. The Get Clear Year will give you a chance to gain clarity and gain experience. Come on, parents. Come on, folks. Take a Get Clear Year. Don't move. Coming up in the news next.
You were created to fill a unique role in and through your work. Now, some of you may be going, I have no idea what that is. Some of you may be saying, I know what I want to do, but I don't know how to get there. I felt all of those emotions. I've been where you are, and I can tell you, there's hope. That's why I wrote the book, From Paycheck to Purpose. You can make the income you want and the impact that you desire, and I know that you have what it takes.
All right, folks, continuing on here on the Ken Coleman Show, helping you make more money and experience more meaning in your work. That's going to have unbelievable positive personal effects on your life. Welcome aboard. 844-747-2577 is the number. Quick reminder, KenColeman.com has a ton of articles that are free, a ton of free resources that can help you get some breakthrough, like our Career Clarity Guide. Little worksheet that'll help you. Our Should I Quit My Job quiz, that nudge you need to move on. The resume guide tells you how to rework your resume so that you stand out. Tells you step-by-step what to do when we give you a free template. Networking the right way. How do you turn your connections into opportunities to get where you want to go? How to stand out at the new job. This is for people starting out a new job. How do you start out in those first 90 days and separate yourself from the pack? Great start out of the starting block. And then the personal brand survey. Feeling stuck, feeling like you've taken some constructive criticism or some criticism, you just need to figure out, what's my personal brand? This matters so much to your growth and advancement. All of those things I just mentioned are free resources at kencoleman.com. All right. Hating work. It's quite the conversation. Is it a movement or is it just a phenomenon? And a little bit more in the news. Let's go. All right. New York Times. Headline, hating your job is cool, but is it a labor movement? They focus on a young man by the name of Alec Wetherington, who lived in Portland, Oregon. Moved there in late 2020. He was from Seattle. His mother had moved into Idaho, so he's lonely. So he starts getting on the social media website Reddit, and he found some like-minded people on a couple of subreddit pages like Lost Generation and Millennials. So then he stumbles into, in spring of 2021, started seeing posts from a subreddit called Anti-Work. I've been covering this, keeping my eye on this. The motto of this thread, it's called a subreddit, is unemployment for all, not just the rich. It's sometimes, I got to tell you, I just have to pause. It's so nonsensical. It makes me want to slam my forehead first into this desk. Do you hear that? This is solid marble. I literally want to knock myself out when I read something that stupid. Unemployment for all, not just the rich. These people have no idea what they're talking about. All right. It had a couple of 100,000 members. Stories from the community were popping up all over social media. And people writing posts about poor treatment from bosses and about quitting their jobs. Now, this I understand. I am here to rail against horrible leadership, help you see it and avoid it. But this thing is turned into a philosophy that is being discussed. Meaning it's gone beyond complaining about mean bosses and toxic environments. And it's now starting to morph into improving pay and working conditions, which I think is good. Okay. But now there's protests. And people are starting to go, hey, we don't feel we should just have to show up and do a menial task just to get a check. Now, you got some people on there who are just, kind of there for the therapy in the community because they've been wronged or they're in a dead-end job or they followed a rabbit hole that got them there. But in this anti-work conversation, there is a community of people, low-wage, blue-collar workers, that are fed up with their working conditions. And they're just kind of going, hey, there's got to be something more here. But will it turn into a labor movement? A labor movement, I don't know. Because a labor movement, if you think about this term as we look at our historical context in the United States, labor movements created unions as we know them now. So, that was a big change. Organized labor, which is a union. That was a labor movement. Is this a labor movement? I don't think so. I think these are people that are disgruntled. I think that they've been victims of poor leadership. I think they've been victims of a system that is coming from education. See, we put education on a pedestal in the United States, and the fact of the matter is it's outdated, it's broken, and it's hemorrhaging. It's hemorrhaging. And our broken education system is creating people who are wandering professionally because we don't teach them how to be unique. The reason we don't teach kids how to be unique is because we pound curiosity out of them. We go, we don't want you to have critical thinking, and we don't want you to be curious. We want you to memorize and regurgitate as opposed to imagine and get inspired. So this is what it is. Our education system is subtly creating a focus on memorization and regurgitation, not imagination and inspiration. By the way, a person cannot be inspired absent of imagining. It is when they imagine, that's dreaming. Walt Disney began to imagine what could be. Now watch the progression. So Walt, we all love Walt. We all know the story of Walt. So Walt Disney, right? He begins to imagine animated cartoons. You've seen the very first drawings of Steamboat Willie, right? Mickey Mouse is Steamboat Willie. He begins to imagine this first. Before there's a Steamboat Willie, Walt's going, I think I'm watching these silent movies. He's watching Charlie Chaplin. And then he begins to wonder, what could be? Imagining. Could we animate a drawing and add a voice and sound to it? Could we hear from Steamboat Willie? That's could be. Now watch what happens. So imagination is could be, and then inspiration happens. And then he goes, I'm a drawer. I'm going to draw this. By the way, most people don't know he had a character. I forget the character's name, by the way. But before Mickey Mouse, there was a bunny that he drew. Go look it up. It's fascinating. So this is imagination turning into inspiration. Are you folks following me? It is imagination that leads to inspiration. When Walt Disney is wondering what could be, he then goes, I'm going to draw a bunny, and then I'm going to draw this Mickey Mouse character. I'm going to create a story, and it goes from what could be to what should be. So his inspiration comes from, there needs to be a cartoon. We didn't even know what cartoons were. Our school system is creating a lot of this angst online. The very system that we trust and that we hold up with great, great respect, it's broken. And let me just tell you something really quick. People, okay, Ken, great. What do we do about it? What do we do about it? I've written a book called From Paycheck to Purpose. Ken Robinson has been talking about this. I've got an assessment. There are tools and resources that will allow you to rewire yourself. And we look at, what do I do best? Talent. What do I love to do? Passion. What results do I want to create? Mission. Where can I find that? Where can I do that? That's the answer. You're in a matrix. All right, next story. Inc.com. Free cars, college, and a chance to meet celebs. 9 unusual great resignation era employee perks. Okay, I love this story. I love the story, and I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm gonna unpack it right after this break because I'm going to tell you something. Here's the context. Because we've seen so many people leave companies, 30 million since spring of last year, 20 million since August of last year. I mean, it's unbelievable. Record numbers of people leaving. Companies are trying to retain talent. Companies are trying to attract talent. And they're having to get creative, and I like it because it means, listen, companies will figure out a way. They will be entrepreneur in their desire to attract and keep people. And so companies are really getting interesting and innovative. Coming up, we're going to break this down. Free cars, college, meeting celebs, more perks. Maybe some of these are for you. We'll break it down next. This is the Ken Coleman Show.
According to Glassdoor, the average job offer attracts over 250 applicants. So if you've made it to the interview, you've already made a great impression. So now is your time to showcase how you are the best choice for this role. That's why we created How to Win the Interview. This free guide will walk you through the 5 strategies to help you stand out amongst the competition. With just a little intentionality, you can prepare yourself to win the interview. To get it, go to kencoleman.com/interview.
All right, folks, welcome back to the Ken Coleman Show, helping you make more income and more impact. Meaningful work that you really enjoy, and you got great opportunity for growth financially, personally, professionally. This is attainable. There's never been a better time. All right. So I teased this going into our last break. Free cars, college, and a chance to meet celebs. 9 unusual Great Resignation era employee perks. This is from an article on Inc.com. And again, companies are doing stuff that they've never done before to attract talent, to keep talent. Perks, baby. It's more than the 401k. You can't just offer 401k anymore. Okay, here are a few. We're going to roll through some of these. I'll dive into some of these a little bit deeper than others. Virtual reality headsets. Calling all gamers. This is a perk from Workato. It's a California-based automation platform, and they are rewarding their team with the Oculus virtual reality sets. These are pretty wild. One of the guys on our team by the name of Zach Ford. I don't know if you guys were around the day. It was one afternoon after the show, and I was walking to the copier machine, making copies. And I hear, hey, kid, you got to come try this. And I look over as 4 or 5 designers and web designers gathered together on the second floor near where I sit. And he put me on a set of these virtual reality goggles, I call them. It irritates people when I call them virtual reality goggles, and so I enjoy it. So I say virtual reality goggles because that's what they look like. And it was a golf game, Joe. And they've got video of me doing this. Alex, you need to maybe score that footage and see if that might be something Nathan might enjoy giving to our viewing audience. Anyway, I played one hole with just this wand, kind of a controller. And boy, oh boy, it was amazing. It was unbelievable. It was like I was in a golf game. It was unbelievable. So this company is giving everybody these as a reward for their best quarter yet. This is great. Fun, kind of new. You get to brag about it. So it's not only a fun game thing, but it's kind of one of those, people don't have them. So you're kind of like the first person on the block. Great move. All right, now here's one. Paternity Leave. Pets are a lot of work, but Tampa-based Better Choice Company understands this. They dubbed PAW, as in P-A-W, Paternity Leave. The pet health and wellness company offers its workers up to 3 days paid time off to care for a new pet. All right. This to me is a little ridiculous. I'm not going to say I don't like it. It's a little ridiculous, but it's the space they're in. They are in that space. So the one thing that I think is interesting about this is I'm sure it creates some storytelling and some connection to their clients. Music festivals. Power Home Remodeling hosts a 3-day music festival and retreat for its workforce in Cancun. Now, let me tell you, that'd be a big hit here at Ramsey because we have a lot of music lovers here. And so they're covering all the expenses with the exception of flights. And by the way, these are no joke. Post Malone, The Killers are 2 artists. I mean, that's big time, big money. And so they're putting it on. They're paying for it. The employees have to pay for their airfare. But he said, we're looking over our shoulders. There were no adults in the room to tell us we couldn't do it, so we did it. And it's a big company retreat, and they love it. Okay, here's another one, Groceries on Demand. Direct-to-consumer Eco Essentials company Public Goods provides its workers with a lifetime membership. This is a $79 annual value. It's not a big deal. To the company's online catalog with a $50 monthly stipend. So workers can peruse a variety of items online, like personal care products, groceries, household supplies, CBD products, and more. See, Joe, that would be a great perk for you because you could order your toilet paper online. If you've not been with us long, I always tease Joe about how much toilet paper he was hoarding during the pandemic.
I was not.
Let's see, moving along here. We're not going to get to all 9 of these. Sweet dreams. A good night's sleep is important, but sometimes it's not always attainable. That's why Houston-based mattress company Mattress Firm provides sleep-related benefits, including sleep coaching, available to its associates. So that's kind of interesting. Free ride. While many employers offer some type of tuition reimbursement plan, I mentioned Dollywood yesterday. Other companies are offering, like Walmart, Target, full tuition, partial tuition, unbelievable. And then how about the celeb meetups? Ever dream of meeting your own celebrity idol? Employees of Hungry, a platform for chefs and food delivery service, have received the chance thanks to a promotional event and charitable group in Arlington, Virginia. This is what they do. They do charitable and promotional events. And so they put on celebrity investors. And so employees can end up with a commercial, other promotion with an A-lister. So Kevin Hart, Usher, and other NFL players and such have done that. So very interesting. Very interesting indeed. Let's go to Avery in Kansas City, Missouri. Avery, you're on the Ken Coleman Show.
Hi, Ken. How's it going?
I'm living the dream, Avery. What's going on with you?
Okay, so I have a new job that I really like, but I'm just experiencing this fear of just making mistakes and possibly getting fired. I had a bad experience with my previous job that I had before this one, with a really poor learning environment, but about 9 months in, I got let go for making too many mistakes. So that's, I guess, where that fear comes from, I guess.
Yeah.
But I'm just wondering, how do I overcome this fear and have just confidence in myself again?
Yeah. So couple questions. Did you learn anything from that past situation where you were making a bunch of mistakes? Did you learn anything?
Oh, yeah.
What'd you learn?
I learned to go slow, and I learned to check over my work.
Good.
And that it's okay if I don't know something, I guess.
Yeah, it's okay to say, hey, I need a little extra training here. I'm new. I need a couple of pointers here. It's okay to ask for help. Good for you. So how long have you been on the new job?
About 5 months, 6 months.
Have you made a bunch of mistakes?
Maybe I could count on like one hand in the last month, maybe.
Okay.
But they're not like big mistakes. It's just,
well, when you made them, why'd you make them? What was the cause of those mistakes?
Probably just from lack of experience, maybe. It was just things I didn't know were mistakes at the time.
Great. And so how were those mistakes treated?
Well, my manager handled it really well, a lot better than my last manager did. She was very just compassionate and considerate, and she just taught me how to not make it again.
Great.
And I haven't made those mistakes ever again.
Great. And so based on your past experience at the former company where it was bad, at this company where it was handled really nicely, what have you learned from that too? How do you, what beyond asking for help, what's something else you can do before you, when you take on something where you lack experience, beyond asking questions, what else can you do?
Sorry, I'm probably kind of nervous.
It's okay. Here's the answer. I want you to not just ask questions, but I want you to have somebody oversee it with you. Is there a coworker that if you just were very kind to them and humble and hungry and said, hey, I'm new at this. They've told me how to do it. I still don't have enough confidence. I know you're a rock star. Would you mind walking me through this one more time and doing it with me? I mean, that's all this takes.
Okay.
So here's the deal.
Okay.
You started the call by saying, Ken, I need help overcoming this fear of making mistakes and getting fired. I don't think you need to be afraid of it. You've been there 5 months and it's only happened a few times and you've learned from it. You got a great leader, sounds like, who wants you to win. I don't think you need to be afraid of this.
Okay.
The only reason you would be afraid is if you are clueless, you refuse to ask questions, you don't have an attitude that is coachable. That's the only way you screw this up. And you're not going to be that. You got it?
I got it.
Nothing to be afraid of. Yeah. Listen, you're fine. You're fine. By the way, experience is only gotten through failure. So working in a healthy environment with a great leader is more than half the battle. Thank you for the call. Don't move. More of your calls coming up. This is the Ken Coleman Show.
Do you know what you were born to do? In order to get hired at a job you love, you need to get clear on your talent, passion, and mission. That's why our team created the Career Clarity Guide. In just a few minutes, this free tool will walk you through a process to discover what you do best, talent, the work you love to do, passion, and the results you want your work to produce. That's mission. Then you're going to feel way more confident throughout the job search process. To get started, go now to kencoleman.com/clarity.
All right, folks, welcome back to the Ken Coleman Show. We are helping you make more money and experience more meaning at work. I want you to win in your professional life and your personal life, and those two are so connected sometimes if you're not winning in either. And so we can help you. We really can. And I'm thrilled you're with us. Let's go to LB, who joins us in Fayetteville, Arkansas. LB, you're on the Ken Coleman Show.
Hey, Ken, thanks for taking my call.
You bet. What's up?
I have a question about submitting resumes. If you submitted a resume and you're rejected off that first try, is it okay to go back in and tweak the resume and resubmit?
I want you to finish a sentence for me, LB. If at first you don't succeed,
Definitely try again.
attaboy. Attaboy. Yeah. Now, let's be honest. I don't know what kind of software systems and artificial intelligence they have. So like if the same person resubmits, is it going to flag you, kick you? I don't know any of that. So I'm just trying to be as transparent as possible as to if it's going to work or not. I don't know if it's going to work, but absolutely try again. And I want you to start by getting the free resume guide at kencoleman.com.
Have it.
You got it. Good. So do it.
Absolutely.
Do it and
Absolutely.
keep doing it. Listen, you absolutely need to keep going back to the well. But this time, not only do I want you to fix your resume, I want you to really work hard on tying in some personal connections. Do you know anybody that works at this company? Do you?
No, not personally, no.
All right. Do you know anybody who knows somebody personally over there?
Yes.
Have we talked to them?
I'm not sure. I don't think you have.
No, I'm saying, have you talked to them?
Oh.
When I say have
No,
I'm sorry. That is confusing, but I was thinking we as in LB. Like, have you talked to them?
No, I have not.
Why?
That's a good question. I haven't tried.
So here's how this goes. Hey, I know you know Carol over there in billing. I'm making all this up. You understand, LB? But you kind of took me literally earlier, so I got to be careful.
I did.
Yeah. So you think of the people you know that know somebody that works in that company. You're calling your people up and you're going, hey, would you be willing to connect me for coffee, lunch, phone call, Zoom call? I want to talk to him. Just tell him why. Say, hey, LB's my friend. LB's a rock star. And he's looking at applying over there. Would you be willing to just spend a brief amount of time with LB for the purposes of feeling comfortable recommending him? Do you understand?
I do.
That's all we got to do. Now, listen, even some of your friends might say, oh, yeah, I'll do it. And then they never get around to doing it. That's fine. But some of your friends will go, yeah, I'll do it. And their connection over that company, some will go, no, I'm not comfortable doing that. I don't want it. Some will. You got to try. Because if at the top of your resume, you got Carol giving you an endorsement statement from billing, that's going to get HR's attention, don't you think?
Yes.
And then what we really want Carol to do, and just a reminder to LB, Carol's not real. What we want Carol, kid, you're a good sport. What we want Carol to do is to take your physical resume and put it on the desk of Mike, who's the hiring manager. And we want Carol to look Mike in the eye and go, hey, Mike, I recently met a guy named LB. And I know LB because I'm really good friends with Richard. And Richard just bragged about LB, and I really trust Richard, and I spent a little bit of time with LB. I think LB's a great guy. And he has applied online, but he asked me if I would give you a physical copy of the resume, and I, as you'll see at the top of the resume, I've endorsed him. I think he's a sharp guy. That's what I want to happen. You know why I want that to happen, LB?
Why is that?
Because it rarely ever happens. And if it rarely ever happens, don't you think it makes you stick out?
Absolutely, it would.
All right, LB, you're a good dude. You're a good sport. I have given you all I can give you. Now you must do it. I need the Obi-Wan, you know what I mean? Kind of like the Ken projection, you know? It's like, just do it, man. You're Luke Skywalker. Yeah, thank you. Hologram, thank you. Thank you very much. Words can be hard at times, folks. Hey, don't move. More of the show coming right up.
Are you wondering if you should leave your current job or stay put? Well, you're not alone. That's why we created the Should I Quit My Job quiz. In just 5 minutes or less, this quiz will help you determine if you're at the right company and if you're in the right role. And if you need to make a move, you'll get practical steps to keep you moving forward. Folks, it's time to get unstuck. Life is too short not to do what you were created to do. Go take the quiz right now at kencoleman.com/quiz.
All right, folks, welcome back to the Ken Coleman Show. We're helping you make more money and experience more meaning. Life is too short to just work a job. We don't want you just working a job. That's why I endorse enthusiastically my friends at ZipRecruiter. There's been a lot of buzz lately about Phil from ZipRecruiter. This guy's getting all kinds of thank yous. Thank you, Phil, here. Thank you, Phil, there. Liliana G said on the old web, super thankful for Phil at ZipRecruiter. He made my whole job search easier, and he helped me land a job. That Phil sounds like someone you want in your corner, especially for an easier job search. What job will Phil help you discover? Find out at ZipRecruiter.com. That's ZipRecruiter.com. All right. One of the things we've been sharing lately, in order to encourage you, I stopped short of saying equip, because some of these jobs are crazy. It is called unbelievable job titles and what they make. But this will just encourage you that there is always opportunity. Here we go. First one. Fortune cookie writer. I mean, of course. I mean, there it is. You're going to be promoted. I mean, we've all been and had a fortune cookie. And there's all these little games, by the way, that you can add on to these things. Have you not heard this before? Is this new? Oh, my goodness. What? I'll have to share this after the show. Some of these are a little salty, but there's these fun little add-ons. You add on a couple of words to the end of the fortune cookie. It's fantastic. Anyway, fortune cookie writer, of course, writes these short little sentences. And there is no certification or education required. That's good to know. Necessary skills, you got to be a good writer. Or in other words, pithy. Pithy. The pay, this is unbelievable, folks. The pay ranges from $40,000 to $80,000 a year. This is according to writingbeginner.com. Now, can I say something before we move on to the next one? We've gotten calls about people who want to be writers, and they're aspiring writers. I never thought of this before. I would do this, and I'll tell you what I would do. I would really try to get in the interview and say, hey, how willing are you for me to really make this fun? Because a lot of these things are on the cheese side of things. The little Velveeta. What if we really spiced it up a little bit?
That's how Stephen King got his start.
Yeah, that's great. All right, next one. Airplane Repo Man. Well, of course this exists. If there's an... Of course, this is the guy. The overweight, angry white guy. Yeah, he's the repo man. There it is. Airplane repo men have a dangerous job. They research, track, trace, repossess, fly, and deliver airplanes. Oh, Joe, I didn't realize this.
Yeah.
They don't just track it down. They got to fly it back.
The dangerous part is you never know what kind of shape they're in. So the thing could fall out of the sky when you're trying to get it home.
That's really interesting. This is according to jobmonkey.com. There is a reality TV show that I have to watch, I didn't even know, called Airplane Repo. That's an actual reality TV show.
Watched it many times.
I'll bet you did. For our listening and viewing audience, Joe is a former pilot. He's not current right now. I'm trying to inspire him. Certification, education, pilot's license only, necessary skills, able to fly a variety of aircraft, and a risk taker, as Joe just pointed out. You might think you're flying a plane, and next thing you know, you're Wilbur and Orville Wright. The pay, this can't be right, but I know it is. $10,000 to $900,000 per plane. I got to tell you, if you got a pilot's license, listen, even at $10,000 a plane, that adds up quick. Glassdoor.com gives us that information. All right, next one. Oh, come on. This is fun. By the way, I really, truly don't look at these until they're live because for me, it's more fun. And Alex always slips one in here. Here it is. Cat behavior consultant. Description. Oh my gosh. A cat behavior consultant is someone who specializes in preventing, managing, and modifying challenging behaviors in cats. This information comes to us from the International Association of Animal Behavior Consultants. By the way, this is another sign of the apocalypse.
A cat whisperer.
Exactly. I understand animal trainers, but maybe that's all this is. They've just given it a really sexy title, cat behavior consultant, as opposed to cat trainer. Here are the certifications. Well, of course, cat behavior certification. Sure, makes sense to me. Oh my gosh. Necessary skills, patience, and love working with animals. Can I add another one in there? You got to be an oddball. I'm going to offend the audience now. Listen, can we just all admit there is a slight difference between a cat lover and a dog lover?
Yes.
I'm just telling you. Cats, man. Cats they all got an attitude. Can I tell you that every time I've ever walked in and met somebody's cat, I genuinely feel worse about myself because I feel like the cat is looking at me going, "You're pathetic." This is what, I'm like, wait. What did I do to you? But I feel like cats just look at you and they just go, now some cats will come up, very sweet, kind of do that figure eight around your legs, kind of. But some cats just look at you like, yeah, you're a waste of oxygen. They just look down on you. Like this cat right here. What's this cat thinking? Let me tell you something about my two dogs. I walk into the house, it's like the greatest thing that has ever happened to them. They have lost their ever-loving mind. All over me, so excited. They're fighting over my love and affection. Cats? No. They just look down on us all. Some people fear the robots. Can I tell you who I fear? The cats. Planet of the Apes? I was fine with that. Watch that. Not worried about that at all. If somebody ever made a Planet of the Cats, it'd be a horror movie for me. I wouldn't go see it. I wouldn't do it. All right, so why do we share with you these, very entertaining job titles and what they pay? I didn't give you the rest of the story. I got so distracted by my hate for cats. The pay range, $41,000 to $89,500 from our good friends at ZipRecruiter. Now, why do I share this with you? It's not just to entertain you. I really want you to understand that we are in such a phenomenal job economy. You hear news all the time. The economy sucks. Republicans are bad. Democrats are bad. Oh, you can't get ahead. can make $40,000 to $80,000 writing little silly statements for a fortune cookie. So let me bring this home. Okay? For all three of these, I'm an aspiring writer. I don't have enough experience to write op-eds or editorial. I need some experience. I need to make some money. I can't starve. If I don't make some money, I'll never get to pursue my dream of writing. This is real. I got to tell you, I'm going to go get a day job writing isms for a fortune cookie. I'm just going to, because I'm going to take care of the bills. I'm going to get stable. It's not a lot of brain matter. I'm going to try to be really good at it, but it's going to allow me the opportunity, the brain space, the emotional space, because I'm not struggling. It's going to allow me the opportunity to write what I really want to write and test it. That's why I'm going to do it. Hey, if I want to be a pilot, I want to work in the aviation industry, but I can't. It's really competitive to get a job for Southwest or Delta. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to be a repo man and make some really big money and pay my dues and wait for an opportunity. Some of you are waiting for me to tie this into the cats. I'm not, because I don't think there's anything redeeming there at all, because if you want to work with animals, don't work with cats. Work with horses or dogs. Yeah, there you go. That's all I'm going to do on that one. Hey, for our listening audience, we got to get out of here. For the viewing audience, stay tuned. We got a bonus segment coming up. Hey, remember this. You matter. You have what it takes. This is the Ken Coleman Show. Press on.
Thanks for listening to The Ken Coleman Show. For more, you can find the show on demand wherever you listen to podcasts and watch the show on YouTube. You can also find Ken across all social media by following @Ken Coleman.
All right, folks, welcome back to the Ken Coleman Show, helping you make more money, experience more meaning. How do you do that? By doing work that you were created to do. You're good at it. You love it, and it creates results that connect to your values. Folks, that's going to make you stand out and watch your income go up, watch your impact spread. It's going to be awesome. You can do this. We're here to help you. Jefferson is joining us next on the line in Madras, Oregon. Jefferson, you're on the Ken Coleman Show.
Hey, Ken, how are you?
I'm living the dream, Jefferson. What's up?
Well, I was just wondering if I should start applying to different departments. I work in a sheriff's office. I work in the county jail. And I was just wondering if it's about time for me to start looking for other stuff. My long-term goal is to go to the road. And right now we're running at about half staff, which means everybody's working tons of overtime. I know I'm getting burnout. And I was just wondering if it's about time for me to start looking for that next job on the road.
Feels like it. But now, can you explain to me, forgive my ignorance, what do you mean by my ultimate goal is to go on the road?
Well, I mean, so when I got hired on in the sheriff's office, I'm a deputy in the jail. So
Gotcha.
I work in the jail.
So on the road means you're in a squad car and you're on patrol.
Exactly.
Okay,
yes.
Gotcha. All right. So I feel like the time is now, at least to begin looking. Feels I don't hear anything that would tell me that it's not time. Your ultimate goal is to get there anyway, and you're understaffed, overburdened, and it's turning into real burnout for you in the jail. And so if there are other departments where they feel like, hey, he's qualified, he's got the experience, we have a need, yeah, I'm absolutely looking at it. There'd be no reason not to look. What would be your concern about looking?
Well, I've only been there a year, or I guess Tuesday would be 1 year for me. And when you get hired on as a cop, you usually have either 1 year or 18 months as a probationary officer. Okay. And I have 18 months. And I was thinking that it would look way better on other applications if I finished that probationary period to prove that I have done it and I can do it again.
Well, you know your industry, right, better than I, and I think that you need to validate that thought. It does not cause you any harm. It's not hard for you to talk to some powers that be and go, this is my theory. Is this true? Let's get some real data from people that would hire you. Do you understand what I'm saying? People that know.
Yeah.
And if the overwhelming response is, yeah, having that 18 months it's going to be looked on much better, going to be a much easier road for you, then I think that's what you do and you hang in there. If it comes back that it's 50-50 or less, then I'd look at moving, because here's the deal. You applying and getting turned down doesn't hurt you for the future. So there's really nothing to lose. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, I do. I mean, if I don't get hired on, that 18 months is going to come and go anyways.
That's exactly right. Now, here's what I want to focus on, the burnout. What is causing the burnout? Is there one key factor, or are there multiple of factors that are causing you to feel burned out?
Well, there's kind of a few things in there. I mean, I just got off of a 56-hour week, and that's not really atypical. And factor in also that I'm working on graveyards, so
yeah,
my
that's
social
exhausting.
life is non-existent.
All right, so let's identify this. We've got physical and emotional exhaustion.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, what else?
I mean,
what else is causing burnout?
The lack of a social life is a big part of it, because
I covered that one.
Is work.
That's exhaustion. You're exhausted because you have no relationships. You're not plugging in. So that's what I covered earlier. Anything else besides that? The long work hours. Anything else causing the burnout?
I think it's mostly that, and like you said, the emotional, not having a social life, and that, and then also part of it's also not being able to go to church at all, because I work overtime. I get off work at 8 a.m. on Sunday after a 12-hour shift.
Well, can you cut back on some of the overtime to go to church?
I might be able to, but really the primary times I'm needed is on those shifts right when church is.
Okay, that's what I was asking. I didn't know if this was voluntary overtime or they need you.
Oh, yeah, no, they need me.
Okay, well, so here's what we do. Two things you can, I think, do. Number one, you can watch church later. I know you like being in that room with everybody, but to get that spiritual content, you can watch church services later when you do have some downtime. And then when you're not working in those 56 hours, I know, is there any type of a weekend for you, even if it's on a Thursday, where you have a day off?
Yeah, my days off are Thursday, Friday.
All right. Well, you can connect with people socially on Thursday and Fridays. True or false?
True.
Then do that. And this is to get you through. Do you understand what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So we got to address what is causing the burnout and what do we do to fix it. If you went to the doctor and said, I got a sore knee, they're going to figure out the source of the knee, and then they're going to go, okay, here's what we need to do to heal the knee. And so for you, we know the source of the burnout. So in order to heal the burnout, make sure you're getting some spiritual work in, and get to that relational work in when you can. And that'll keep you going. Hey, you matter. You have what it takes. Thank you for joining us. This is the Ken Coleman Show. Press on.